Evan Gray was a simple human mechanic who worked with a small peace team on the alien planet Valyria. He did not know anything about royal laws, ancient oaths, or dangerous traditions. He just fixed machines, earned money, and explored the colorful markets during his free time. Every week, he visited a small shop run by a quiet alien girl named Lyra. She had soft blue hair that sometimes glowed like tiny lights. Evan always thought the glowing was just part of her species. He never asked much. He only knew one thing: she made him smile. On one bright morning, Evan walked into the market with a relaxed face. He had just finished fixing a broken hovercart and had some free time. He saw Lyra placing new fruit on her shop table. She looked tired but still gave him a soft smile. "You look sleepy," Evan said jokingly. "Did you stay up all night glowing like a lamp?" Lyra covered her face shyly. "My hair glows when I feel strong emotions," she said quietly. Evan laughed. "Wow, so does that mean your hair glows when you see me?" Her cheeks turned a lighter shade, almost silver. Evan found her reaction adorable. He leaned forward, trying to tease her more. "Hey, Lyra. You know what? For a kiss, I'd conquer this whole planet for you." He said it like a joke, light, silly, playful. He even laughed after saying it, but Lyra did not laugh. She froze. Her hands trembled. Her breath stopped for a second. Her knees weakened as if she might fall. And then her blue hair burst into bright fire-like light. The glow was so strong that every small crystal on her table reflected it like burning stars. Nearby shoppers gasped and stepped back. A mother grabbed her child and ran. A shopkeeper closed his stall in seconds. The whole market changed from lively noise to silent fear. Evan's smile faded slowly. "Lyra, did I say something wrong?" She stared at him with wide, frightened eyes. Her voice shook. "Evan, what did you just say?" "The kiss thing?" Evan replied. "I was only joking." She took a step back. "You spoke the conquest phrase." "The what?" Before she could explain, a loud electronic alarm echoed through the market. Red lights flashed across the sky. A robotic voice announced in every corner. "Illegal phrase detected." Guardian units activated. People scattered like birds. Some hid in shops. Others ran to the safe shelters. Everyone avoided Evan like he carried a deadly virus. Evan raised his hands, confused and scared. "What is happening?" Behind him, heavy footsteps shook the ground. 4 armored alien guards marched into the market. Their glowing spears hummed with energy. The leader pointed at Evan. "There!" The guards shouted. "The human!" He spoke the forbiddance oath. Evan's eyes widened. Forbiddance? It was just a joke. But the guards did not care. They aimed their weapons at him. Lyra suddenly grabbed his wrist. "Evan, listen to me. You have to run. Rye." "Lyra, what did I say?" She pulled him toward a narrow alley. Her glowing hair lit the shadows around them. "The words you spoke. Only conquerors use them. Kings, warlords, rulers. Those who wish to control the planet." "What?" "But I don't want to control anything." "That does not matter," she whispered urgently. "The rules say anyone who speaks the conquest phrase must face the trial of claim, or they must die for pretending." Evan stared at her in shock. "Trial of claim? Pretending? What does that even mean?" She looked into his eyes with deep sadness. "It means you must fight for the right to rule the planet, or you will be executed." Evan felt the world spin. He grabbed his head. "Lyra, why didn't anyone tell me humans can't say random jokes here?" She looked down. "Because no human was ever foolish enough to say those words." More guards entered the alley, blocking the exit. Their spears glowed brighter. Lyra's voice broke. "Evan, I'm sorry. This is my fault. I should have warned you." I should have told you. Told me what? But before she could answer, she pushed him behind an old metal gate. Hide, she whispered. If they catch you now, you will never get a chance to explain. Evan crawled into the shadows as guards approached Lyra. The last thing he saw was Lyra, standing bravely in front of the soldiers, her hair still burning bright like blue fire. The last thing he heard was a guard shouting, "Where is the human who dared to speak the oath?" The story ends here with Evan trapped in darkness, heart racing, realizing that one simple joke might have started a war. Evan stayed hidden behind the rusty metal gate, his heart beating like a drum. He tried to stay quiet, but his breathing was loud from fear. He watched Lyra standing in front of the guards, her glowing blue hair slowly dimming but still bright enough to expose her trembling shoulders. The lead guard stepped forward. "Girl," he said, "a human was seen with you." He spoke the conquest phrase. "Where is he?" Lyra kept her eyes low. I don't know." The guard's eyes narrowed. "Your hair is glowing. That means you are hiding something." Evan felt guilt twist inside him. She was protecting him, even though he caused this chaos without knowing. Another guard pointed at the alley wall. "He must be close. Spread out. Search everything." Lyra swallowed hard. "You won't find him." The guard hissed. "If you are lying, you will pay the price." When the guards finally walked away, Lyra remained frozen for several seconds. Only after they were gone did she rush back to the gate and pull Evan out. "Come," she whispered urgently. "We have to move before they return." Evan stumbled after her. "Lyra, why did you lie for me? They're going to punish you." She did not look at him. "Because this is my fault. I should have warned you never to say those words." They ran through a maze of narrow alleys until they reached an old abandoned storage room. Lyra pushed the door open and pulled Evan inside. The place was dusty and filled with old tools and broken crates. Evan finally caught his breath. "Okay, now please tell me everything. Why is this phrase so dangerous? And why did your hair look like it was on fire?" Lyra closed the door and leaned against it. Her hands shook as she locked it from inside. "The conquest phrase," she began softly, "is ancient. Long before my time, this world was ruled by powerful leaders who fought over the planet. When a warrior wanted to claim the land, they spoke the phrase before a crowd. It was a promise, a challenge, and a threat." Evan blinked. "But I didn't threaten anyone. It was just a joke." "In your culture, yes," she whispered. "But here, words carry power, and anyone who speaks them must face the trial of claim." Evan rubbed his forehead. "And what is that trial?" Lyra hesitated, then said, "You must prove your strength in front of the council. If you lose, you die. If you win, you become someone very powerful." "That's insane," Evan shouted. "I don't want to fight anyone. I don't want power. I don't even want free fruit samples from the market. I just want to fix machines and drink tea." Lyra stared at him with sad eyes. "I know." Evan sighed and sat on an old crate. "Okay, but one thing I still don't understand. The moment I said the phrase, your hair lit up like blue fire. Why?" Lyra froze. She looked away. She tried to pretend she didn't hear the question. But Evan saw her hands shaking. "Lyra," he said gently, "what does the glowing mean?" She slowly sat on the floor, hugging her knees. Her voice was soft, almost breaking. "My hair reacts to strong emotions. But not just fear or anger. It reacts to someone who holds a special bond with me." Evan didn't understand. "A bond?" She nodded. "A heart bond. Something our people cannot fake. It appears only when someone's words reach our deepest feelings." Evan's eyes widened. So my words affected you that much? Lyra covered her face. Her glowing hair dimmed to a faint blue. In my culture, she whispered, the conquest phrase is not only used for claiming land, but also for claiming a person. Evan choked. What? She kept her head down. Only someone you feel connected to can trigger that strong glow. Evan's mind spun. So you're saying? You before he could finish, a loud explosion shook the building. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lyra jumped to her feet. They found us. Evan peeked through a crack in the wall and saw red lights sweeping through the alleys. More guards were coming, and they looked fully armed. We have to run, Lyra said, pulling his arm again. Evan stood frozen. Lyra, why are you risking everything for me? Her voice cracked as she answered, because I cannot let them take you. Not after what you said. Not after what my heart felt. Another explosion hit the building. The door burst open. The guards rushed in. Lyra's hair lit up again, brighter than before. And suddenly something inside her awakened. Her eyes glowed with the same blue fire, and a strange ancient symbol brightened on her forehead. Evan whispered, stunned, Lyra, what are you? The guards stormed into the old storage room with glowing spears ready, but something made them stop. Their boots scraped against the floor as they froze at the sight before them. Lyra stood in front of Evan like a shield. Her blue hair wasn't just glowing anymore. It moved like living fire, flowing up toward the ceiling. Her eyes shone with the same blue flame, and the strange symbol on her forehead pulsed like a heartbeat. One of the guards whispered, trembling, impossible. She is one of them. The captain swallowed loudly. A descendant of the first line. Evan, still crouched behind her, stared in shock. Lyra, what does that mean? What are they talking about? But Lyra didn't answer. She raised her hand, and a wave of blue light rushed across the room like a soft wind. The light didn't burn, didn't hit, yet every guard stepped back, afraid to move closer. Leave, she said, her voice calm but full of ancient power. I will bring the human to the council myself. The guards looked at each other. None dared to challenge her. After a tense moment, the captain lowered his spear. As you command. Princes. Evan's heart skipped. Princes? When the guards left, Lyra's glowing fire slowly faded. She collapsed to her knees, breathing hard. Evan rushed to her side. Lyra, hey, are you okay? What just happened? And what was that princess thing? She placed a shaking hand on the floor. I didn't want you to know. Not now, not like this. No what? Evan asked. Lyra lifted her head. The glowing symbol on her forehead was gone, but her eyes still carried sadness. I am the last daughter of the first line, she said. The ancient rulers who created the Trial of Claim. My family once united the planet. But after my parents were killed in a rebellion, I was hidden away to protect me. Evan blinked. You're royalty? Not anymore, she whispered. Now I'm only a shop girl. Or at least, that's what I tried to be. Evan felt his brain melting. So that's why the guards listened to you? She nodded. The first line carries a power that cannot be faked. Our hair reacts to truth, emotion, and old promises. It glows when someone speaks words that connect to our heart. Her hands trembled again. And your joke reached deeper than you thought. Evan rubbed his face. Lyra, I really didn't mean it. Her voice softened. I know. Before she could explain more, a loud echo filled the streets. A robotic voice boomed across the city. Attention! The human who spoke the conquest phrase is ordered to appear before the council in 1 hour. Prepare the trial of claim. Drums began to beat from distant towers, deep, heavy, rhythmic. Evan felt each thump in his chest, like footsteps of something huge approaching. He turned to Lyra. What happens now? Lyra stood, though her legs shook. The planet prepares for your trial. Evan blinked. My trial? No trial. I can barely win at arm wrestling. You don't have a choice, she whispered. If you don't appear, they will chase you forever. If they catch you, it will end badly. Evan groaned. Great, perfect. This is how I die on an alien planet because of a stupid joke. Lyra took his hands. No, you will not die. I will help you. I swear it. Help me how? He asked. I can't fight alien champions. I fix machines, not smash people. Lyra looked around the room as if searching for something. Finally, she walked toward a metal crate. After forcing it open, she pulled out a strange staff with glowing blue veins. This belonged to my mother, she whispered. It answers only to those with a strong heart. Evan raised his eyebrows. Lyra, I don't have a strong heart. I get dizzy when I stand too fast. She smiled sadly. But your heart spoke words that awakened my fire. That means something. The staff may respond to you. Evan stepped back. No, keep that thing away. I'm already in trouble. I don't need glowing weapons too. Lyra stepped closer. Evan, the trial is not just fighting. You must show courage, spirit, and truth. The council respects those who stand with honor. And you have something others don't. Yeah? What? She looked into his eyes. A human heart. One that cares, even when you are scared. Evan swallowed hard. That doesn't mean I can survive this. Lyra touched his shoulder. You won't face it alone. Outside, the drums grew louder. The planet was already gathering. A trial unseen for many years was about to begin. Lyra opened the door. Come, Evan. We must go before they send soldiers again. Evan took a deep breath. Okay. But just to be clear, if I survive this, I'm never joking again. Lyra gave a tiny smile. Then I will make sure you survive. Together. They stepped into the glowing streets as the entire planet prepared for the trial of claim. The path to the council hall was long, wide, and lined with thousands of glowing lanterns. They flickered like stars trapped inside glass. Evan had never seen so many aliens gathered in one place, old, young, rich, poor. All of them whispered and stared at him as he walked beside Lyra. Some looked afraid of him. Some looked angry. Some looked shocked. And some were waiting to see if he was foolish or brave. Evan tried to walk normally, but fear made his legs weak. He leaned closer to Lyra. Why do they look at me like I'm a live bomb? Because they want to see the man who spoke the words of kings, Lyra whispered. No one has heard the conquest phrase in many years. Evan groaned. Great, I'm famous. And doomed. Lyra squeezed his hand gently. You are not doomed. You still have a chance, yeah? What chance? I don't even know the rules. Lyra looked ahead with a worried face. I will explain everything inside. As they reached the huge silver doors of the council hall, Evan noticed Lyra's hair glowing again, soft, warm, gentle. Not like the wild fire from before. He touched one of the glowing strands lightly. Why is it glowing now? Are you scared? She shook her head slowly. No, this glow is different. It is because you are close. Evan blinked. Close? As in? Walking close? No, she whispered, voice trembling. Close to my heart. Evan froze. What? Before she could explain, the doors opened with a heavy sound. Inside was a massive circular chamber with 12 tall alien elders sitting in high seats. Their clothes carried ancient symbols. Their eyes were cold and sharp. At the center of the hall stood a wide stone platform, the trial ground. A deep drumbeat began, echoing across the hall. The council elder with silver skin stood. Bring the human forward. Evan stepped onto the stone, praying he wouldn't faint. Lyra stayed behind. Biting her lip. The elder spoke loudly. "Human, you spoke the conquest phrase in the presence of a first line. By ancient law, you must prove your heart." Evan tried not to panic. "Prove it how? By fighting? By dancing? Because I warn you, I dance terribly." The hall murmured. The elder frowned. "This trial has 3 parts," he said. "One of courage, one of truth, and one of heart." Evan gulped. "Can I pick only the heart part? I'm good at feelings." The elder ignored him. 2 guards approached with strange wooden boxes. Inside each box was an object, a glowing stone and a sharp metal blade. Evan whispered, "Lyra, what is this?" Lyra stepped forward, though guards blocked her from getting too close. "The first task tests courage. You must choose one object and accept what it brings." Evan stared at the glowing stone. "What does the stone do?" "It will show your strongest fear," Lyra whispered. He quickly pointed at the blade. "And the blade?" "It will test your survival instincts." Evan held his head. "I don't want either. Where's the option for go home and hide?" The elder's voice thundered, "Choose." Evan swallowed thickly, then closed his eyes. "Fine, I'll take the stone." Gasps filled the room. Lyra looked terrified. "Evan, are you sure?" "No," he said honestly. "But fear is something I know. Blades? Not so much." The elder nodded. "Place the stone on your chest." Evan pressed the glowing stone against his heart. Suddenly the world around him shattered. The chamber vanished. The council disappeared. Even Lyra faded into darkness. Evan stood alone in a huge empty space. Then shadows formed around him, dark copies of himself, whispering, "You are weak, you are nobody, you will die today." Evan covered his ears, shaking. "Stop, stop." The shadows moved closer, but then a warm blue light appeared behind him. Lyra's shape formed in the darkness, glowing like a small sun. Her hand touched his shoulder. Her hair burned with a soft fire, pushing the shadows away. Her voice echoed gently, "You are not alone. Fight it, Evan." Evan trembled. "But you're not really here." The glowing Lyra shook her head. "The stone reads your heart, and your heart called me." Evan's chest tightened. Was that true? Had he reached for her without thinking? His fear slowly faded. He stepped forward, and the shadows exploded like dust. A flash of blue light filled everything. When the stone test ended, Evan found himself back in the hall, breathing hard, but alive. The whole chamber gasped. The elders whispered urgently. The silver elder declared, "The human passed the courage trial. His fear could not break him." Lyra's hair glowed brighter than ever. She covered her mouth to hide her tears, but the elder then added, "Prepare him for the truth trial." Evan looked at Lyra with shaking hands. If that was only the first test, what will the second one do to me? Lyra could only whisper one word: everything. The council hall was silent. Too silent. Evan stood on the stone platform, still shaking from the courage trial, while the elders whispered among themselves. Lyra watched from behind the guards, her hands tightly pressed together. Her blue hair glowed softly, trembling with worry. Evan looked at her, trying to smile. "Well, one test done. Only 2 more. I can maybe survive half of one." Lyra shook her head. "The truth trial is harder, Evan. It reveals things about your heart. Things you may not want others to see." Evan sighed. "I already saw a version of myself calling me a useless idiot. How much worse can it get?" But before Lyra could answer, a thunderous sound burst through the hall. Boom! The floor shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. The lanterns swayed. The doors to the chamber exploded inward, sending guards flying. A tall, armored figure stepped through the smoke. The crowd gasped, Even the elders stood up in shock. Lyra's face drained of color. "No, not him," Evan whispered. "Who is that?" The figure walked forward with heavy steps. His armor was black with red cracks glowing like molten fire. His eyes were sharp and cruel. A long scar ran across his cheek. He carried a massive spear with an electric core humming inside it. Lyra's voice trembled. "That is General Vorak, the warlord who led the rebellion that killed my parents." Evan froze. "What? So he's basically the villain of your planet?" She nodded weakly. "And he wants something. Something dangerous." The elders shouted, "General Vorak, you were banned from this hall. How dare you return?" Vorak smiled a cold, cruel smile. "You dare speak of rules to me, while a human child stands in the place of our warriors?" Evan raised his hand slowly. "Hey, I'm not a child. I'm at least 20-something. Vorak ignored him and pointed his burning spear at the elders. "I am here to claim what is mine. This trial has awakened ancient laws, and those laws name ME as the rightful challenger." The hall erupted with gasps as Lyra stepped forward. "No, the challenger is the one who speaks the phrase. That rule is clear." Evan spoke the conquest phrase, "not you." Vorak turned to her with a dark grin. "Ah, little blue flame. Still hiding behind shop stalls?" Lyra's glowing hair dimmed in fear. Vorak continued, "Yes, the human spoke the words. But ancient law also states that anyone with power may step into the trial, if the planet's safety is at risk." Evan blinked. Wait, so because you're dangerous you get to join? How does that make sense?" Vorak raised his spear. "The council is weak. This planet needs a true ruler, not this fragile girl's chosen lover." Evan choked. "Lover? Who, what, when, what are you talking about?" Lyra's face went pink. "He's lying. Don't listen." Vorak laughed loudly. "Her hair burns blue fire for you. That alone proves the bond." Evan's face turned tomato red. I didn't ask for her hair to glow. It just glowed at me." Lyra covered her face in mortified silence. The elders finally spoke. "General Vorak, you cannot claim leadership through fear. The law demands the trial of claim be completed. But you may observe." Vorak grinned. "Observe? Oh no. I come to win." His spear hit the ground with a boom, making the whole hall shake again. Lyra stood in front of Evan, blocking Vorak's view. "You will not harm him." Vorak tilted his head. "Why protect a human who barely understands our world?" Lyra's voice softened. "Because he said something no one ever said to me." Vorak sneered. "Ah yes, the foolish kiss promise. You think that is love?" Evan muttered, "I didn't even get the kiss." Lyra turned bright red. "Evan, not the time." Vorak stepped closer. "Let me tell you the truth, human. This trial is not about strength. It is about control. And I will take control of this planet. And of her." Evan felt anger rise in his chest. "No, you won't touch her." Vorak's smile fell instantly. His eyes narrowed. "Then show me. Survive the truth trial. If you fail, she is mine." Lyra gasped. "No. The law doesn't allow that." Vorak shrugged. "Laws bend to power." The elders shouted, "Enough! Begin the truth trial." The floor under Evan lit up with golden lines forming a circle. Strange energy rose around him. Evan looked at Lyra. "Whatever happens, stay safe." Lyra shook her head, almost crying. "Evan, please. Whatever you do, don't let the truth destroy you." Vorak laughed from the shadows. "Let's see what your heart is hiding, little human." The golden circle pulsed, and the truth trial began. *, the golden circle beneath. Evan's feet brightened until it felt like he was standing inside a small sun. The lines pulsed like a heartbeat. The whole council hall became silent, waiting for the truth trial to begin. Evan swallowed hard. Okay. Truth. I can handle truth, probably, maybe. Lyra stood behind the guards, hands shaking. Evan. Whatever you see in there, remember who you are. Before Evan could reply, the circle flashed and the world around him shattered. Suddenly he was standing in a dark, empty space. No elders, no council hall, no Lyra. Just darkness. Then, a single voice echoed, "Show us your truth." The darkness began to shift. Images formed, old memories Evan had buried. He saw himself back on Earth, fixing broken machines, working long nights, eating alone, pretending everything was fine. He saw people ignoring him. He saw himself laughing even when he was hurt inside. He saw how lonely he was. Evan whispered, "Stop. Stop showing this." But the trial did not stop. The darkness created a new shape, Lyra. Her glowing blue hair floated gently around her face, and her eyes held sadness. The trial's voice echoed again, "Tell your truth to her." The illusion of Lyra stepped closer. Evan felt his throat tighten. "My truth?" He whispered. "The truth is, I don't think I deserve someone like her. She's brave, kind, important, and I'm just a me." The illusion. Lyra lifted her hand, touching his chest. Blue light flowed from her fingers. Evan whispered, "I don't want to lose her." The trial's voice echoed, "Then speak your heart." Evan closed his eyes. "My heart." He took a deep, shaky breath. "My heart says that I care about her. More than I should. More than I ever expected. And when she looks at me, I feel like I matter." The moment he spoke those words, the darkness cracked like glass. A burst of light shot through the void. Suddenly, Evan was back in the council hall, falling to his knees. Exhausted. The elders whispered urgently, "The human passed the truth trial." Lyra gasped. Her glowing hair brightened with relief, but before she could run to him, the ground shook violently. Boom! A huge explosion blasted the front doors apart. Smoke clouded the hall. Guards were thrown across the room. Fire scattered everywhere. General Vorak stepped through the smoke with an army of armored soldiers behind him. The warlord shouted, "Enough trials! The planet belongs to me." The elders stood in shock. "You dare attack the council?" Vorak raised his spear, electricity crackling. "I dare take what you failed to protect." His army charged. Chaos exploded. Guards rushed to defend the elders, but Vorak's soldiers pushed through with brutal force. Energy blasts struck the walls. The ceiling shook. The hall turned into a battlefield. Evan scrambled to his feet. "Lyra, where are you?" She ran toward him through smoke, her glowing hair flickering like a flame about to break. "Evan, stay down." Before she reached him, 3 of Vorak's soldiers surrounded Evan. "Capture the human." One growled. Evan raised his hands. "Hey, no need for violence, maybe we can." One soldier swung a staff at him. Evan ducked out of pure panic. The staff smashed into the ground, leaving a crack. Another soldier lunged. Evan grabbed the only thing near him, a metal shield from a fallen guard. He raised it just in time. Clang! The shock knocked him back, but he stayed on his feet. The soldiers stared in disbelief. "This human dares fight?" One snarled. Evan shouted, "I don't dare anything. I'm just trying to stay alive." Suddenly a blue flame shot across the hall, knocking the soldiers away from Evan. Lyra stood behind him, her hair fully ignited, her eyes glowing like twin stars. "Touch him again," she warned, "and I will burn the air around you." Vorak laughed from across the hall. "Look how the princess protects her little human. Pathetic." Lyra's glow grew even brighter. "You killed my parents. I will not let you take him too." Vorak twirled his spear. Then come stop me. Lyra stepped forward, but Evan grabbed her wrist. Lyra, you'll get yourself killed. She turned to him, voice trembling. I will not lose you, Evan. He stared into her glowing eyes. His heart hammered, then something changed inside him, fear, shifted into determination. Evan stepped in front of Lyra. No, we face him together. Vorak smirked and pointed his spear at them. Then the human dies first. He charged. The hall froze. Lyra screamed, Evan, move. But Evan did not move. He braced himself, shield raised, and yelled, Come on then, try me. Vorak's spear slammed into Evan's shield. A massive explosion of light filled the hall, and that moment was the beginning of the war for the planet. Vorak's spear crashed against Evan's shield with a force that shook the entire council hall. Light exploded outward. The blast threw guards to the floor and shattered ancient stone pillars. Evan slid backward across the ground, boots scraping, arms burning, but he did not fall. Impossible. Vorak shouted, stepping back in shock. A human cannot hold my strike. Evan panted, raising the bent shield. Well, surprise. Humans are full of bad decisions and stubbornness. Lyra ran to his side, her glowing blue hair burning brighter with every heartbeat. Evan, please, step back. I can face him. Evan looked at her, the fear in her eyes, the fire in her hair, the trembling in her hands. No, he said softly. You've protected me enough. It's time I protect you. Vorak roared in fury and charged again. This time, Evan dodged and swung the shield like a hammer, smashing it into Vorak's helmet. The general stumbled, shot again. The crowd gasped. A human, a simple mechanic, was standing against the most feared warlord on the planet. Vorak growled. You think courage makes you strong? Evan grinned weakly. No, but being angry helps. Vorak's spear charged with red lightning. He pointed it at Evan, then die angry. He fired a massive blast. Lyra screamed, Evan! The blast hit Evan directly, but instead of killing him, the blue symbol from Lyra's forehead flashed on his chest. A barrier of blue fire erupted around him, absorbing the blast. Silence fell across the hall. Evan stared at his hands. Lyra? Why am I glowing? Lyra covered her mouth in shock. The bond. It awakened fully in you. Vorak staggered back. No, the heart bond cannot cross species. Lyra shook her head slowly. It can, if the heart speaks the truth. Evan blinked. Wait, what truth? What did I? But Vorak interrupted with a furious scream. I will not be defeated by a human. He attacked again, spear spinning like a burning storm. Lyra raised her hands, blue flames swirling around her arms. Evan lifted his shield with new strength. Together they blocked strike after strike. Vorak grew angrier, stronger, more wild, but something began to change. The ground glowed beneath Evan's feet. Blue lines spread across the floor like veins. The hall itself responded to him. The elders stood, shocked. The planet is accepting him. Vorak attacked again, but Evan swung the shield upward. Crash. The blow sent Vorak flying back, armor cracking. Evan shouted, voice shaking with courage and fear. I don't want to conquer your planet. I don't want thrones or power. I only want her safe. Lyra's glowing hair burst into a blazing wave of blue fire. Tears filled her eyes. Vorak pushed himself up, coughing blood. No, no, I am the rightful ruler. Me, not some human. Not this girl. He charged in blind rage, spear raised for the kill. Lyra stepped forward, but Evan grabbed her hand and whispered, Trust me. He ran forward. He met Vorak head dash on at the last second. Evan dropped the shield and grabbed the spear's shaft with his bare hands. The electric power burned his palms, but he held tight. He twisted with all his strength. Snap! The spear cracked in half. Vorak froze, stunned. Evan took a shaky step closer. I'm not stronger than you. I'm not faster. I'm not brave every day. But I'm human. And humans protect the people they care about. He swung the broken spear like a lever and slammed the warlord into the ground. The impact shook the hall. Vorak lay still. The war ended. Silence filled the hall until one elder whispered, "The human won." Then the crowd erupted in cheers, shouts, and cries. Some fell to their knees. Others raised their hands to the sky. Lyra ran to Evan and threw her arms around him. Her glowing hair wrapped around them like a warm, living blanket. "You did it," she whispered with tears. "You saved us." Evan leaned against her, exhausted. "I didn't save the planet." "We did." The elders stepped down from their seats. The silver elder bowed. "Human Evan Gray, you have passed every trial. By ancient law, you may claim the planet." The hall waited for his answer. Evan looked around at the crowd. Then at Lyra. He shook his head. "I don't want to rule anything. I only want to protect this place because she lives here." Lyra's eyes widened. Her glowing hair softened into gentle light. Her cheeks turned bright silver. She stepped closer, heart pounding. Then, "What do you want, Evan?" He smiled softly. "Just one thing." Her voice trembled. "What?" Evan whispered, "That kiss I joked about." Lyra's breath caught. Her knees weakened. Her blue hair ignited into a beautiful soft flame, slowly. She leaned forward and kissed him, a gentle, warm, glowing kiss that filled the hall with blue light. Everyone watched in silence as the fire spread across the ceiling, painting the sky with blue stars. The planet accepted him. The people honored him. And Lyra chose him. Evan whispered after the kiss, "For you, I'd conquer anything. But I'd rather stay by your side." Lyra held his hand tightly, and together they walked into a new future, human and alien, fire and heart, united by a bond that shook the world. *The end.